Hello guys, welcome to another video. First of all, I said that these traders that belong to me, so if you read the full story for yourself, you can go down in the description to find the link to the original post and read the full story for yourself. That being said, let's get into the video. Naruto The Ninjutsu Prodigy Chapter 9 and Part 9, The Uzumaki Clan Task Force. Ever since Naruto had become an Anbu Black Ops, he's always wanted to run his own team of people, especially essentially since he killed half of the Uchiha police force that left room for a new task force to be created. The Uzumaki clan task force is considered of Naruto as the leader, Tayuya, Karin, Kushina, Nagato, and Konoha, Conan. Since she was welcomed into the clan by Kushina herself, the Uzumaki task force had a different purpose though. Unlike the Uchiha who were tasked with keeping the people of the village safe from each other, the Uzumaki clan task force was responsible for maintain of the village barrier defense and the security maneuver. They rarely ever fought in a battle purported to be a secret task force answer to an address by the Hokage himself. At first, Uchiha clan grew jealous of the idea of another task force in the village beside themselves, but Itachi assured them that they were two separate clan trials. Thus, they were two separate task forces. Shishui Uchiha then stepped down and said, step forward and said, Itachi, are you certain it's a good idea to allow the Uzumaki clan to have their own task force? This could cause a conflict of interest with our own among the people of the Hidden Leaf. And Itachi said, believe it, and or not, Shishui. I am confident that unlike my father, whose pride and arrogance overwhelmed his own senses and duty to protect the village, I will not make that same mistake unless you want to go against a yellow fox. Your Sharingan is unique in a way that is different from my other Monkey Sharingan eyes. Your Koto Amatsukame Genjutsu makes people think what they are seeing is really there. Yellow lightning could kill you before you even activated it. We will fight with the Uzumaki clan task force, not against them. They are our allies. Now we must deal with it. Hokage has ordered it to be done, and so it shall. You could tell a lot of them. You could learn a lot from the Uzumaki clan, Shishui. You would be surprised how strong they are. And Shishui said, "Alright, Itachi, I trust you for now because you trust them. But I'm keeping an eye on them just in case." And Itachi said, "So just don't do anything get get yourself killed, Shishui." If the Uzumaki clan found out that they are being watched, the Hokage is gonna have the Yellow Fox finish what he started 6 years ago. The Uchiha clan will become extinct completely. And Shishui said, "I am afraid of this guy, Itachi. You know how powerful I am." "I'm not afraid of this guy, Itachi. You know how powerful I am. How dangerous could this yellow fox person be?" Shishui then felt a kunai at his throat and a sword at his back. Yellow lightning fox said, "Do you really want to test me, Shishui Uchiha? I could kill you two different ways right now. One, I could slit your throat, or two, I could ram this sword through your spine cord and out your chest. Take your pick." Shishui then trembled with fear and said, "What, when, how did you, how did you sneak up on me without me knowing it?" Yell, and Yellow Lightning Fox said, "Fun fact about the Nara clan's signature shadow position jutsu. It can be used for more than just trapping people. It's also just getting close to people unnoticed by blending in the shadows itself. Not even the clan head knows about this secret, and they never will. I will be watching you closely, Shishu Uchiha. Don't try anything funny or you will regret the day you ever met me. I could burn the rest of the Uchiha clan to the ground if I wanted to. My only regret being the Hokage. My only restraint being the Hokage. Naruto then vanished back into the shadows and went back to the Uchiha clan compound where Uzumaki clan task force base of operation. Once Yellow Lightning Fox was gone, Itachi looked at Shisui very seriously and said, "Now do you understand why nobody has messed with the Uzumaki clan task force since they have been established in the village?" Yellow Lightning Fox was only 6 years old when he killed half of the Uchiha clan. He is now 12 and he's become even stronger. He's on a higher level of intelligence than even the Nara clan. He was drafted straight into the Anbu from the academy and has been has been the youngest Anbu Black Ops member to be made an Anbu Black Ops commander at such a young age. He's not someone you get away with challenging uninjured. If you give the chance with an opening opportunity to, he would kill you without hesitation. If you give the chance with an opportunity to kill you without hesitation. Shishui was speechless. How could someone so young kill so easily without feeling guilty at all? Without feeling guilty at all, he had to save some kind of moral code, didn't he? Even people have a moral code. Even every people has a moral code. Shishui then asked. Does he truly does he truly feel pain or guilt after killing so many people? Does he even have any moral and values at all? Itachi said Yellow Lightning Fox has two rules when killing. Only kill those who deserve to be killed and spare even innocent man or woman, elderly or if children if possible. He holds on sympathy of the for the wicked one wicked zone. He holds no sympathy for the wicked ones, nor does he spare anyone who dares threaten the village with their friends, siblings, or his own children. He believes if only he is guilty or innocent, then all of the people involved with them are either guilty or innocent. Now Shishui definitely he had a reason to be scared. He definitely had a reason to be scared. If the yellow lightning fox was the cruel to people who deserve to kill, he wondered how kind he was to the innocent. I- If the yellow lightning fox was that cruel to people who deserved to be killed, he wondered how kind he was to the innocent. Once things was certain, he wouldn't be the only Uchiha looking over his shoulders from now on. Just before Naruto had left, Shishui hadn't noticed it before, but he and Itachi were just marked with the Hirashin seal, and from Itachi it was while he wasn't even looking, and Naruto had a shadow clone placed on his back of Itachi's neck, and Shishui it was on his chest a big like a ball's eye. Big Boss, they were all now on Naruto's watch list for potential threat in the village, and they knew it. And Itachi had trained Naruto in the Anbu scare tactic as well, a little too well apparently, since even Ibiki Morino was afraid of him, and it took a lot to scare him. Anko Mitarashi even vomited once when Naruto slowly cut up Danzo Shimura for interrogation. Nanko Mitarashi even vomited once when Naruto slowly cut up Danzo Shimura for interrogation, and when he, and then poured hot vi- worked hot vinegar and salt on the open wound and added pain. And that was after stripping him to the equal of an electric to the equality of an electric chair and frying the guy's brain. Naruto's methods of torture were very cruel and sadistic, but they got the result the Hokage wanted. And who's going to argue about the method when results are obviously 100% guaranteed to come back to the Hokage early? Not him, that was for sure. Naruto, Kakashi, and the rest of the Jonin senses were in the Hokage's office talking about which team he would be participating in the Chunin exams. However, before anyone that was mentioned, Naruto said, Lord Hokage, if I may have a few words with you and Kakashi Hatake for a moment alone, in concern of his training methods for his three genins. You may find many input as option for his word on file quite different than what he's telling you. You may find many input as opposite to his own words on file quite different than what he's telling you. Kakashi knew this wasn't going to be an easy explanation, but he figured it was going to be brought up sooner or later in the meeting. He just didn't think it was this soon. Kakashi then said, Naruto, we didn't have to bring this up with the Hokage now, do we? Do we? It's not like I'm favoring one of them over the others now, is it? Because that would mean I would be breaking the golden rule of a sensei, never playing favoritism among students. And Naruto said, I highly recommend you listen to what I have to say about his methods, Lord Hokage. You might just find he is just unworthy person to be a sensei in the history of the Hidden Leaf Village. Should be have his father should should he have his father should he have still lived would have made a better sensei than Kakashi. Now Kakashi knew he couldn't feel he could feel bad for himself if Naruto was comparing him to his father. Sorry, I need to read that again. He would have made a better sense than Kakashi. Now Kakashi knew he would start feeling bad for him if Naruto was comparing him to his father, the White Fang of the Hidden Leaf Shakumo Hatake. Kakashi bowed his head in shame and sat down in the chair across from the Hokage and said, I guess we are going to skip this torture. We are Lord Hokage. We are not going to skip this topic, are we? Lord Hokage and Hiruzen said, no, Kakashi, we aren't going to be skipping this topic. Please continue, Naruto. And Naruto, and from your sake, Kakashi, he better have good things to say about your method. And for your sake, Kakashi, he better have good things to say about your methods, or it's starting to back. It's straight back to the Anbu Black Ops for you, with Naruto as your superior officer. He is, after all, the commander of the Anbu Black Ops headquarters. Ironic, isn't it? You would be taking orders from a 12-year-old, and no matter how ridiculous they were, you would have to follow them. And Naruto said, "Well, no, to be honest with you, to be honest with you, Lord Hokage, when I first got there, I expected them to have already known the tree climbing and water walking jutsu control exercise before their first mission out of the village. They didn't even know the basic of the elemental manipulation of their own nature chakra affinities. I had to teach Sakura and Hinata all of this while Kakashi focused solely on Uchiha. On the Uchiha, apparently the civilian council has been ordering Kakashi to train Sasuke Uchiha more than the rest of his students. Hiyashi Hyuga will be hearing how his daughter's been neglected by Kakashi, and so will the parents of Sakura Haruno. That's not much. That's Not much Ieyashi is able to do as a shinobi anymore since my wind chakra severed his chakra paths to pieces. Kakashi then growled and said, "So, just how bad of a punishment are we talking about here, Hokage-sama?" So the whole civilian council has been studying Kakashi. That's let's get back to the story. And Hiruzen said, "Well, Kakashi, that's all depended on how good their teamwork skills are together. Naruto, what do you think?" And Naruto said, "To be completely honest with Lord Hokage, I don't care what the council believes or wants. They have only just mastered the basics of the element of their elementary affinities. If I was training them, I would be giving them another year before letting them take the Chunin exams. But that's just me, of course. If Kakashi wants to send his team of Genins untrained and unprepared for anything that can or will go wrong in a life or death situation, let him. But I am not going to be stand by and watch those two girls fail in their career as shinobi's. I will train them myself behind the scenes if I have to. With your approval, of course, Lord Hokage." And Hiruzen said, "I am very disappointed in your efforts as a teacher, Kakashi. So far from what I have heard, you are looking at emotion as though as academy student, if not getting at best. But perhaps we can arrange something. Perhaps since you like training Sasuke Uchiha more than Hinata, Hyuga, and Kakashi, and Sakura Haruno, I should hand their training over to Naruto as his apprentices, and you can do as much training as you wish with Sasuke Uchiha." Agreed. It's either this or you get and placed demoted to Genin and placed in Anbu Black Ops under Naruto's command. What's your decision, Kakashi? And Kakashi then said, "Well, I figured something like this would happen, so I guess I will agree with the first option. I will take Sasuke Uchiha, and he can have Sakura and Hinata. It's better than being ordered around by a 12-year-old." And Hiruzen said, "A very wise decision, Kakashi. However, your payment for the missions will be cut to be the same amount as a Kenin minimum for the next full year." What the hell? His payment has been cut. Nice. Be grateful since I could make you do missions without pay for the same amount of time, making you live in Naruto's old apartment in the red light district. Kakashi then got to his knees and pleading and begging the Hokage not to do that, only because he wouldn't bear the shame and not by any Ichaichas, not because he couldn't bear the shame. Kakashi then got to his knees, pleaded and begged the Hokage not to do that, only because he wouldn't bear the shame, and not by he couldn't bear the shame and not buy any Icha books for a full year. Hiruzen then said, "Also, Jorai will be revoking your Icha book membership status from platinum to bronze." Wow, that's harsh. Also, Jorai will be revoking your Icha book membership status from platinum to bronze. That's just below gold, but close to silver. You are dismissed. That's just below gold, but close to silver status. You are dismissed. Kakashi then said underneath his breath, "Thanks a lot, Naruto. Now what am I supposed to do with my spare time?" And Naruto said, "I heard that, Kakashi Hatake. You better be on time for training tomorrow morning, or I will have my mother come find you and Kasumi drag you to the training ground by your neck." Kakashi just reached towards the back of his neck and remembering the last time that actually happened and still had the bite marks to prove it. It was not a pleasant thing. If anything, the pain stuck with him for months. Naruto then said, "Well, I'm heading home. See you at 500 hours sharp tomorrow morning, Kakashi. Get as much sleep as you can because you will definitely need it." Kakashi then said to Hiruzen, "Sometimes I hate how cruel or sadistic he could be at times." Well, I guess I better inform the girls who's going to be training them. Jane, the Lord Hokage. Kakashi then disappeared in a puff of smoke, and Hiruzen said, "So do I, Kakashi, so do I. But he knows how to get results on my desk in a far less time also. Thanks to Kami, he told me about his shadow clone jutsu. Thanks to Kami, I still hate you for not warning me about this influx of papers, intraver stuff. The Tobirama senses so do I, but he knows how to get results on my desk in a far results on my desk and in a far less time also. Thanks Kami, he told me about the shadow clone for the paperwork. I still hate you for not warning me about this infernal stuff. Tobirama sensed Hiruzen was glad that what is this last 6 years since he discovered he discovered the secret to breathe paperwork, he could actually focus more on the village and his Icha collection. But mostly his Icha collection. He, an old man, could dream, couldn't he? If only he would know about it before becoming Hokage, boy would his sense be for areas, especially with the first Hokage's wife Mito Uzumaki still around at that time. To think that would happen if Tsunade had actually become a pervert instead of Jiraiya, and Jiraiya become the gambling drunk. He surrounded at the thought of that what Mito Uzumaki would have done had that actually happened. One thing he knew for certain was that there's been some uneasy thrust between the two task force groups. The Uchiha clan feels left out and Uzumaki clan trying their best to get along. It was just a good thing that Naruto always stopped things from getting out of hands quickly. A simple ration sealed on to the back of their heads and simple ideal traits such made a big difference. Minato could only be laughing in the grave at how Naruto was using his ration technique in a way even he didn't imagine. Since mastering his technique, he had placed it all of the civilian council members to keep a much closer watch on them, and to even heroes and benefit. He enjoyed watching his old teammates, the council, looking over their shoulder every 10 minutes, knowing even when or not knowing when or where the yellow lightning fox would appear next. Naruto had gotten home in time for dinner as he saw that Nagato's fiance Conan was cooking dinner, and the gods that thank God for that, since Tayuya was horrible at it, and his mother only knew how to cook one thing. Ironically, the one thing Naruto ever ate growing up, ramen. For the first time Naruto had Conan cooking, he was amazed at how great her cooking actually was. It was like taking a long trip down memory lane. Every single flavor was specially designed, delicious and satisfying and delicious. Naruto couldn't help but approach or ap- yeah, sorry, approve of Conan and Nagato's relationship. Naruto then said, "Wow, Conan, I can see why Nagato loves you so much. Anyone who's able to cook this well shouldn't deserve to be couldn't deserve to be single forever. I'm sure you guys will be happy together." Nagato then said, "And what about you, Naruto? Is there anyone in the village that has caught your interest? Perhaps the Hyuga clan heiress Hinata Hyuga, or maybe the Yamanaka clan heiress Ino Yamanaka, or that pink-haired girl Sakura Haruno, maybe." And Naruto said, all of the other eyes of the women's were on him. I'm not really such excellent. Then again, I grow up not knowing what true love really is or what it is like to be in love with someone else in the first place. But hey, there's always family, right? Everyone else couldn't believe it. Was Naruto really that tense to the girls around him that he never once noticed any of them as a possible love interest? Kushina and the girls all went slack John as Naruto's. Oh, what did I say something wrong? Is there something on my face? Conan then spoke up, and the others said, Naruto, perhaps you may want to pay a little more close attention around you when you are around these girls. You may just notice something different about how they act around you. And Naruto said, I will keep that in mind. Conan, thank you for advice. I am meeting them tomorrow for training anyways. Good night. Naruto then went to bed for as everyone said good night Naruto. Kushina then turned to the others and said, "All right. So far, what I have gathered from this conversation is that Naruto is obviously to the girl's feeling, oblivious to the girl's feeling for him. I suggest talking with each of the girls' parents and find out their opinion on the matter. I will go get even Mibuki Haruno. She's my former teammate. Nagato could hold down the fort while Karin, Tayuya, and Konan visit the Hyuga and Imanaka and send report back here. Agreed? And the others said agreed. Kushina then said, and one more thing I should have mentioned. Naruto is probably on to what we have planned by now, and we will probably ask us about it. We all need to find a convincing excuse for use. I will be demanded deemed if I let the future of I will be damned if I let the future of our clan die with Naruto. No, this is for his benefit, not ours. Got that? And Nagato said, forever forgive me, Lady Kushina, but for what I have learned by talking with Jorah Sensei is that Naruto is far more intelligent than anyone gives him credit for. A talent he inherited from his father, I wonder, as I would assume. And if I am right, then he will most likely see through our excuses and find out the truth sooner than later. Kushina then said, well, perhaps you are right. We should just let him figure it out on his own. But I am his mother. As his mother, it's my job to take an interest in everything and everyone around him, even his love life. Mother knows best, right? They all just sniffed at Kushina and sniffed at Kushina that said to so easily knowing exactly how Naruto react to his mother's poking around his love life and being nosy. They were worried that Naruto could actually kill his own mother for doing so. They all finished dinner and went to bed afterwards, knowing that tomorrow was a big day for all of them. That's all for part 9 of Naruto The Ninjutsu Prodigy. If you wanna be notified for future parts and other fanfiction reading, then the best way is subscribing. And sorry for studying and all that because I'm also sleeping. And I know I'm saying that in a lot of video, but I most oftenly record these videos at late at night. That's why I'm a bit sleepy while recording them. That being said, I have to see the next one. Jane.